So today we have the awesome Anna Peters joining us. Anna has been in the industry for close to 2 decades. She started when she was 2, and she spent 11 of those years as a Redken educator. She is an art team member here at Sambia who specializes in color, bridal styling, editorial, and finishing. She is a salon owner. She is a mother. She is a superwoman. So please, let's welcome in the chats, Anna Peters.
Hi. Hello. I wish
Anna.
I was a superwoman. You're so sweet.
I think you are.
Oh, thank you. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mannequin Monday. I'm so excited to be sharing this romantic bridal look with you today. We're going to talk about how to get a really modern kind of bend and wave in the hair and how to set your client up. So for me, it's all about making sure that we set ourselves up for success from the get-go. And a lot of times where I see stylists struggling is they haven't done the proper work at the base to build that foundation and direction to make their job so much easier when styling the hair. So let's just say your client comes in with this center part, her hair that she washed last night, preferably. It's nice and clean, but just has like a little bit of bend to it. We're wanting to work off of a side part because I'm so excited side parts are coming back. So we're gonna scoot her part over, but watch what happens when we do that. Because the hair has dried down in a center part, I'm really going to fight this hair to stay in that position. So what do we need to do? We need to, let me see my comments and see if anyone's participating this morning. Hi, everyone. I would love your feedback. So please ask any questions and Andrew will help field those for me too. So when we do this side part, what are we battling? We're battling that her base has dried in the opposite direction. So to counteract that, we need to wet the hair at the base and dry those bonds and set them in the direction that we want that hair to move. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to come in on dry hair with Redken's Guts, a targeted mousse, volumizing mousse spray, and I'm going to use this as my water, but it's also going to build that volume and that grip for me. So killing 2 birds with 1 stone, we're going to go in and we're going to spray directly at the root. So it should look like that, okay? Then we could go through, comb that product in, and don't be afraid of too much product on dry hair. We really want to make sure that we're getting that direction and that grip that we need. And setting yourself up with the right product is how we're going to get there. So I'm just going to comb that through this base. I don't need to go all throughout the hair. I really want to practice working smarter and not harder and saving some steps. So I'm just going to go through where I need it at the base. Now we're going to take our 9-row finishing brush and we're going to use this as our grip. So we're going to place those bristles into the hair like so. And you could see that inside that brush, that hair is really bent, right? So we don't want to blow dry that. We want to pull this, get that tension that you see right there. And that's where our nozzle is going to go and blow dry that hair in the direction that we want to go. So here we go. I'm going to turn this on. And I'm going to just blow dry that hair straight up for volume and to the side for that direction. And you're going to see what a huge difference this is going to make working this way on dry hair. So again, using the brush for the tension and the nozzle to direct that airflow. What do you guys think of that volume so far right there through her part? Isn't that amazing? And that hair is going to hold that because we've dried those bonds into that direction. Now I'm going to go down on the other side. Okay, so when my client comes in, that's my first step, is getting those roots and that base moving in the direction that we need. So now she's set up there. I'm now going to move on to our first set part of our sectioning, and I'm going to use my tail comb, and I'm going to just outline around the round of her head. So let me turn her for you. Kind of creating a halo. So on this side, I'm going to go, it depends on how much hair we want to leave out here. And this is going to be based off of your client's hair density. But all of this is going to move back, but we're going to treat this a little bit differently. So you can see this volume that's built in there already. And this section is going to drop to right at her occipital bone. So that bump right there at the back of your head. And then I'm going to go to the other side, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take about an inch around her hairline and then start working my way back to the occipital bone at the back of the head. And this line does not need to be perfect. This is something that we are just going to go in and secure. This is like where her volume's going to be. So you want to look in your mirror, check yourself out in the profile and see how does that look? How does that sit? Pay attention to her face shape, her jawline, her nose, her lips. Is this lifting or is it dragging her down? So all these things we're paying attention to as we take these sections. Really intentional with our styling and mapping out our look before we just go in and start curling the whole head. I want to save you guys time and energy behind the chair, and this is definitely going to help with that.
I wanted to ask too, you mentioned about is the sectioning helping balance face shape? Do you have any tips for that, or is it just to kind of keep moving the hair in different ways and just keep watching in the mirror to see how it affects things, or what are your tips for that?
Yeah, great question. So obviously everyone's face shape is so different, and sometimes you'll notice it quite a bit in just their facial features, their nose, their chin, their cheekbones. What I like to do is follow a line, and that's about where I like to place. So if there was like a line from here to here, so you could see my fingers here, and it followed down straight with her jawline and lifting a little bit. Like that's what's going to really help in this situation. Or if we have another focal point, following her cheekbone line and lifting. If she has a really long face, creating a lot of height is going to just accentuate that even more. So we want to be aware of those things, just the features from the front view and from the side view. So I'll always turn them and kind of check out how that looks. And if it's standing out to you, then you know that you need to adjust. Thanks for that question. All right. Okay, so we're just going to secure this now with an elastic. And I'll turn her around for you. And this is where we're going to build some volume through here. So say your client has some like really fine hair that won't lift up. Let me move this hair out of the way and I'll show you this. I'm going to keep my crown section isolated, but I'm going to go in with some texture through her crown area to help me even more. So this is just to keep that hair out of the way for me right now. And we're going to go in with the Sambia texture iron. And this lovely little tool here is one of my favorites in creating a ton of volume. Where's my camera? There we go. All right, so going in here through this crown, we're going to just go in and tap the base with this iron, and we will get a ton of lift and volume. So if this is something that you're struggling with, is getting that volume for those clients with that really silky, either heavy or really fine hair that you just can't get to lift up or to tease, go in with your texture iron at the first inch to 2 inches of the base, and you'll notice that little ripple effect. And what that does is just create a lot of froth and grip for you through that crown. So wherever you need that extra lift, just go in with your texture iron and place some volume right there, and you will be amazed at what that will do for you. And your grips are going to love that as well as you pin those in. So I'm going to re-grab this section here, just using my fingers right now to place that hair. And I'm going to take this elastic out and secure it to this top. So I love right now the direction that texture is going, with its natural textures coming back and us celebrating those, as well as, you know, not the perfect beach waves and curls and all of that that we're seeing. We're either seeing a ton of body, or we're seeing like a really modern natural bend to the hair. And I love that. It just gives that effortless look, and moves away from what we've been seeing so much of with the beach waves. So creating that lived-in look, but not in a new way, right? So in a new way with a little bit of bend and texture. Let me re-grip this one really quick. So what just happened is, while I was pulling up that volume, you could see there's a little snag here. So if that happens to you, this is why. It's because the section wasn't brushed through thoroughly first. And so when you do that and you go to pinch and pull that hair, has this ever happened to anyone? Let me see it in the chats if it has. You get that kind of like snag, right? And it's not the pretty pinch and pull that you were hoping for to get that volume. So try brushing through your section first, getting all that hair to move in the same direction before you tie it off with an elastic. Then when you go to pinch and pull and create that volume, okay, awesome. I'm glad it's not just me that has happened to. Now when you go to pinch and pull, because there's no tangles underneath this surface, when we pull, we're gonna get a nice, clean lift of volume there. So just going through, creating that. Let me turn her. There's her profile. What do you guys think? That's a nice line, right? Like just really lifting that jawline up. Okay, so now we're gonna do some iron work. So instead of going in, what's the first thing we usually do? We go in, the client shows up, we start doing a bunch of curls or a big curl set. Obviously, depending on the look, but this look, we're not going to need to do that. We're only going to put some wave and some bend in these areas where the hair is hanging out right now. So it's going to save us a lot of time. We've already mapped out the first step of our look. So now all we need to do is just get some bend in there. So I'm going to go through with Redken's iron shape first over these sections, and just a nice mist throughout the hair is going to help to protect her hair from the heat, as well as let those curls, or let that wave or curls, whatever you're creating, really set and hold for the entire day. So if you struggle with your curls holding, need some more control over that, some more memory, try working with a heat spray like Redken's Iron Shape. It has the memory and the heat protection, and gives it a beautiful shine too.
Hey, Anna.
Okay. Yeah.
Christy Leanne Ice Is asking, do you ever feel like clients get this feeling of being let down if you redo something like that, or is it just my anxiety?
You mean when I was pulling the hair back and
Um,
there was a snag? Is that what you're talking about?
no, I think what they're saying is because they're saying like there's a follow up to it too that says I've been doing hair for a long time and I still get frustrated when it's not exactly what I want for the first time. So after you kind of set up maybe your shape and then you have to redo it, or kind of
Yeah.
reshape something. And do you feel like people get frustrated if you have to go back and readjust stuff?
I don't think they're frustrated. I think they're thankful that you're actually taking that time and that step to adjust it. We're human, we're not robots, we're not perfect. Everybody's hair is so different, and each head is so different that I'm working on a mannequin head. We can do this look 5 million times. The second I step on with a client and do it, it's going to feel and look different. So there are going to need to be adjustments. And I think the biggest thing when you're working with clients is them seeing that you're caring, you're not just rushing to get them out of your chair. So the fact that you would take the time to go through, take it back down and fix it if that's what's needing to be done, then I'm sure they would be very happy that you're doing that. That's a great question. Okay, so now we're gonna go in, we're gonna create a very modern bend to the hair. So I'm working with our Zambia Sleeker in the ruby red. It's so beautiful, but you could see this really pretty, nice beveled edge that it has. And this is going to really help to create a soft bend in the hair and not give any hard lines. So I'll show from this view and then I'll turn her and show you another angle. So I'm gonna go through, heat up my section first, and then just start slightly pulling out, turning my wrist, going in, pulling out, going in, and then a little bevel through those ends. This is a very fast way to get a beautiful finish in the hair versus going in with a ton of curls. So if anytime I can create this look, I absolutely love it because it saves me a lot of time. So there's that from the side view. You could see that bend. And I love how this really mimics the bend that we get from tucking our hair behind our ears and how perfectly that accentuates the cheekbones. So do you see how that just is popping right there? All right, so now we're gonna go in with our next section. And here we go from this view. So you can see I'm rolling away from the head. I'm rolling into the head. I'm rolling away, in, and then down those ends. And you could just see that. And because of the product, the mousse that we've worked in through the base, the iron shape, we're already getting a lot of grip and texture. Going in here, this is what's going to be hanging down. So how do we want that to look for her? I am gonna leave this volume that we have here. If I go in with my flat iron, I could take a little bit of that away. So I'm going to start this bend at about her eyes. Again, combing through our sections. You notice I have my tail comb in my hand the whole time because when we go in with the iron, if there are tangles, we are cementing those tangles into that hair. So you want to make sure that we're working cleanly with a lot of intention behind everything that we do. And it's going to save you a ton of time, a ton of struggle, and your finishes are going to look so much more professional. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to go in and I'm going to start by, because we have this volume here, I'm going to start by going under, and then I'm going to flip my iron over and go out, in, out, in. and just get that really nice, beautiful bend and movement. Tons of shine. What do you guys think of those waves? Awesome. Okay, moving over to this side now. I'm going to go into Salon Speed. And because I already sprayed the iron shape all throughout, I'm already set up. I'm going to take my section and go quickly through the hair. And you could see how fast you could get this in and move on to your section. Next section, which is going to be in the back, moving this hair up into a style. So going in, out. It's really important. Sometimes I hold these ends because they'll start to move sideways down the iron and you won't get that in and out movement. Look how beautiful that shine is there. Oh, oh my gosh, Andrew, her head.
Clients show up drunk sometimes. You can't do anything about it.
You know, sometimes our pets' heads are falling off. Anybody know what that's from? Please tell me. It's my favorite line in a movie. It's old school. Look at that volume there now. Yes. Okay. So this down here, I'm just going to leave alone. It's got a nice bend and texture to it. So we got all of that polish through the front. She's going to have a very romantic, messy look now because of her rolling around on the ground. But then we have all of this polish here through the front there. All right. Now let's take this and start moving this to the back. All right, here we go. Let me step away. Okay, so we have our volume. Come on, there we go. Now we're going to take our hair from the ears back, and we're going to move this up and over this hair tie. So our first anchor is this ponytail. Our second one is going to sit right on top of that.
Anna, did you mention what temperature you had the flat iron at?
Oh my gosh, a great point. Thank you. The flat iron is set at color treated setting, which is 392 degrees. And you could see there that we have the color treated setting. That's the amber setting, the medium one on this iron. And that's going to protect her color from fading. So I love that we have that feature because almost every client of ours that comes in has color. And sharing that information with them just makes such a big difference in their trust immediately with you, that you are going in and you're protecting their color. And also it's great information for them to know at home when they go to turn on their iron. That is a dial of 1 to 10 and they have no idea what temperatures those are at. Let's encourage them to turn down the temperature so that they protect their hair. So you can see I have my two sections here. We're going to pull these up and we are going to do an elastic right above that. I got that one guy that just came out from falling on the ground. Okay, so we're going to tie an elastic right above here. And then we're going to pull this through and flip those ends through. So my two fingers are going to go up the middle of that, grab those ends, and pull it through. Now we can really start to pull and accentuate that texture through there and create some really pretty movement, as well as lots of volume. So now we have these two that we're working with. We're going to start to create our bun back here. So what we're going to do is just twist that hair around and just loosely tie that bun up. So let me move a little bit closer for you so you can see. We have our two ponytails, one sitting on top here. And we did that little loop-de-through there and are really starting to pull that texture out to create that movement. These fronts are going to move back. These two ponytails are going to twist around each other. Tie it off with an elastic at the ends. And then we're going to just move that up. So our anchors that we're pinning into are the base of these two ponytails that are sitting on top of each other. And that's where we're going to get a lot of security with our style when we know where our anchors are and we're pinning into those. So this is a really realistic length of hair that a client will come in with. And I absolutely love showing it on this because not every time do we have a client with extremely perfect, long, beautiful hair that we can work with. So a realistic length here to still get volume and to be able to get this look. So now we're going in with our pins. Our anchors are right here below these two sections right here. So I'm placing this bun right on top of those. I'm going straight in with my grip, straight to the head, and then sliding down into those anchors. I haven't let go yet. I'm going to pin where my fingers are first. So straight in and then either sideways or down, depending on where you're at, where you're needing to go into those anchors. All right, and then one more over here. So straight in and then sideways to go into the anchors. All right, great. So now we're just going to easily pull back this hair in the front, and it's up to you on how you want to let some pieces hang out. Let's show you from the side view here. This section easily can move back. So what we can do too, if you're needing volume on the sides, we could go in. We already created our wave, our polish through the mid and ends, but sometimes those sides look a little thin. That's where we're gonna see clients have a lot of less hair density, sometimes on these sides. So going in with this texture iron, again, right there at that base, creating that volume. And you could see that grip right there. And watch as you froth that, the amount of volume that you get from that is just so beautiful. So I like to do one of those right at the base here. All this hair is going to move over that, so you're not even going to see it, but it's going to really create a nice foundation. And I'm going to do that on the other side for you too. So if you're just joining in, we are creating a really romantic bridal style, easily setting ourselves up for success by creating a really modern bend. So the hair is gonna get set really fast. It's not gonna take a lot of time. We're mapping out our section and only applying the iron and the movement where we need it, not all over the head, then sectioning and doing our style. That's gonna save you so much time. Okay, so got all of that volume in there. And now we could start to move this hair back. So it's up to you. You determine, and the client, what she feels comfortable with hanging down. This look has a little bit more of a looser, softer feel. So we are gonna leave some hair out. And we're just going to twist this hair away from the head, from the face, away from the face. So it's just sweeping back across. And it's just going to float right over that look, that bun that we have there. And this look has a lot of hair that is just kind of, some of the ends are still sticking out, and that's what gives it that effortless feel. All right, let me pin this one. Okay, the other side's gonna come back. As we twist away from the face, now we could pinch and pull and create that volume through these sections. Okay, so this is coming back and across that one. And first anchor it in, and then you could go in and froth it up a little bit. So I'm going in straight in with my pin. I hit the head with that pin straight in, and then slide that down into those anchors. Straight in with my pin, and then slide that down into those anchors. And now step away from your work. So often we get so zoned in on the section we're working on that we forget to step away and look from afar. Check the balance. Make sure that this is looking good with her face shape, with her hairline, that everything is in proportion, and then do your finishing touches. So here I could go in and start to blouse this a little bit, pull, and then we'll do some final pinning for the security. Get that volume where you want it. And obviously we have these ends that we can secure. All right, what are you guys thinking of? What are you thinking so far? Any questions? Love the term froth it up. Yeah, we're always like trying to keep changing the words that we use with our clients to keep it interesting. To take something that you've said a million times and make it sound different and exciting for our clients is something that I really try to do. And that also sounds beautiful, and frothing it up can definitely make you think of something really delightful, right? All right, so romantic and sexy at the same time. That's right. Yeah, we're trying to, give her that look of effortlessness, but she still has a polished style for a special event, whether it's a wedding or an occasion out. So here, this section right here, I'm going to just loosely pin this back. So the way we're going to do that, because I really like having this hanging, just not in her eyes. So we're going to do that by taking this section, and we are going to take our pin, slide it up the section of hair like this. You can see that. And we're just going to slide that in straight up and then back. And you could see how that just tucks that away just a little bit. All right, so just to recap, we went in first and checked out how her base was laying. Where were we wanting the hair to move? She came in with a center part. We wanted to go to the side. So we went in with guts. Where is it? Guts targeted volume mousse and just sprayed that right at her base here. Used our 9-row Villa styling brush and the nozzle on our blow dryer to direct that hair into that direction. That set us up so that we're not battling her part or her cowlick if that's what you're dealing with on some clients. So just really set up the foundation of her base, where the hair is moving and how we want it to lay. We wanted volume in this case, so we lifted those roots up and directed them to the side for a side part. Next, we sectioned out that crown area and did a low ponytail at the occipital bone right here. From there, we took the underneath, moved that up and over that ponytail, created another ponytail, looped that through, and took these sides and just moved them back. Very quick, very simple. This is a great go-to to have in your back pocket for a really effortless look. And then just working with the irons in different ways. Instead of going in always and creating a whole head of curls, which could take a lot of time depending on how much hair they have, you can go in and easily just create that nice, modern, polished bend to the hair. So it's got some movement and something fresh and different than what she usually wears, but it takes so much less time, and you are going to save so much time by working with this type of bend in the hair. So I encourage you guys to try it at home, use your tools differently, experiment, have fun, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this look today.
Well, as always, it looks gorgeous because your hands always create gorgeous hair. But I think the other thing too, just even watching the chats, is you make things really approachable. Like, this was not complicated, like you said. It was pretty quick. The approach is simple. So I love how you always take these things that I would look at that and go, oh my gosh, it seems so overwhelming. But the way that you explain this stuff, it's like, oh no, it's actually not that difficult.
Yeah, I think just breaking it down, I've learned over the years, especially early on, you do see a look that your client shows you on their phone of what they're wanting, and you're like on the spot, and your mind just kind of explodes with, okay, I'm just going to start curling the hair, try to figure this out along the way. Let me see if anybody else has done that. Then you just start playing with the hair. You're kind of lost on what the first step is. So I really hope that when I'm sharing these looks with you, I can simplify it and give you a few simple steps to map it out. And you could take that and apply it to any style. And then just using your tools differently, put down the curling iron and pick up the flat iron for once, have fun, play with different tools and creating different finishes. And then you have it all in your back pocket. So you're ready when that client shows you that picture.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Anna. Please make sure to go give Anna a follow over on social media because she provides a lot of great inspiration. And we'll see you back here soon, Anna.